family. We are back. Hey guys, Windy J with you right now. I am working on the idea of trying to get some stuff done today in preparation for all the nonsense that's happening in my world, which is a lot more than it has been recently. We have, of course, I've got my Witchlight and Wesmia campaign that's been happening for a while, but it's not really ever been in all of us. It's always just been in the Feywild for the most part, because, you know, once you get past the Witchlight Carnival in that published adventure, you're not really bound to any world at all, aside from the one that you're going to eventually get back to. And then, however, it's gotten a little bit more significant for my Friday campaign, which is the Olive Chronicles. Started off as the Sunken Citadel and has now developed further, but I need to get some things done, because while I'm all set up in my head, in reality I'm not. I'm looking at having to get a whole bunch of players handbooky type things done for all my players and all the future things that could potentially happen in there. And now that I got all this going, of course, not everything is showing up the way it's supposed to. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out why I cannot see the things. That did not do the trick. So, of course, I have the tech issues now. That's just the way she's gonna work. That's just how it rolls, right? So let's see if we can solve some of those techie type issues. Oh. That was a freeze if I ever saw one. I'm making my computers do things that they don't like doing. There, that should solve at least a little bit. Maybe we can actually get everything up here on the screen the way it's supposed to be. Let's find that out right now, shall we? Huzzah! There it is. And now you can see it too. Boof. Alright, well, welcome chat. Glad to have you kicking around here, as always. But I was having a tough time getting this lovely little thing up here, so I've been trying to keep track of all my plans in here, and now I gotta actually turn them into something a little bit more concrete that everybody can read. And so, that would be this one. Is this yeah, this is the one. So, hopefully this works okay for us. Let's see here if it'll even let me do zoom-ins. Ooh, it does let me do zoom-ins. That's kind of nice. There, now we can see the things. So, all my wonderful ideas now get to be played from here. Now get to be placed in here. So, what left off on was the Ranger, and I'm gonna try and go as quickly past this as I can, because one of the big things we just discovered, or I just discovered, and that was actually discovered for me by my son. I haven't quite described the arcane arts in all of those properly yet, and I need to do that. So that's what I'm going to get to today, but must not stop where I was, because, you know, if you lose your spot, it's really hard to get back in. So that's where I'm going. So right now, looking at the Horizon Walker Ranger, and just kind of describing where those things are going to be located in Olivos when the time comes. So in this case, Horizon Walkers, such rangers may appear anywhere in Olivos. They are known to frequent Feywasen, in the Principality of Wencia, Duvain in the Kingdom of Palia, and Famond in Wesmia, where Fey magic seems to purvey. Yeah, it's nice and straightforward. So I guess I could pull up those maps so people could see a little bit about where those things are. Where am I? Maps. Yeah. Alright, where's my lovely little maps? Let's go here. That's not the right one. I need to go find this one. So, pull up a JPEG. Here we go. Welcome to Olivos, or at least some of the parts I can show you right there. Okay, so that's the part that I can. This is the main continent of Osawiran, and so we have there's a Feymond, which is, if I remember correctly, somewhere in this region, right there. It's really hard to see on that tiny little screen. So, Duvain is somewhere over here, and then Feywassen is somewhere over here. Just a couple of places where Fey magic seems to there seems to be a lot more overlap between the Feywild and Olivos. So, we'll come back to that later. So, Horizon Walkers are going to be quite comfortable there. Let's go to the next one, being Monster Slayer. In particular, and most of what I'm trying to do here is all of the lore and all of the explanation that exists in players' handbooks. I want them all to be explained in Olivos just as much. I think I'll do this so I can actually see things a little bit better. There we go. There we go. Okay, so Monster Slayer Rangers, a cohort of these Rangers wander along the eastern ends of both Wesmia and I can't go. Oh, Roria, and the Rorian Empire, with support from the governing bodies there, protecting against expansion from Stiag. The wars between those nations are still strong, or still considered recent memory between those nations, between those societies, I guess I should say. Between those societies are still considered recent memory. Yeah, there you go. Monster Slayers. Now, I think I also already said that the Fey Wanderer and the Swarm Keeper are basically the same as described. The Drake Warden is new. So there's just a place where people would be if they chose to be a Drake Warden in Olivos. Then they could do that. So, okay, so that the Monster Slayer, basically, this is actually a monster kingdom right in here, this United Hordes of Stiag. And they were not really their own nation until, I think if I remember correctly, I set it up to like 130 years ago. So it's not that old. They're a fairly young nation. And they coordinated themselves in this war, pushed themselves into Roria, pushed themselves into Wesmia, and a treaty actually ended up having to be struck to prevent this from becoming any further, to prevent the wars from coming any further, the hordes and such. But there's a bunch of rangers who still basically could patrol these regions here in both Roria and Wesmia to try to prevent the monster kind from thinking they can keep going. And I don't think the monster kind really cares anymore, but the rangers exist. Okay, Narian Rangers. Is that right? Naria? Oh no, Rakian. There we go. That's the one. Narakian Rangers are stuff of legends. Why can't I see that? I need to be able to... Let's drive in there. There. Now I should be able to see that a lot better. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So it is based off of the Drake Warden origin number 2. So let's go. Oh, I got some applications for games. I'll have to check those out later. That's marvelous. I think there's actually only 3 applications there, not 6. I just haven't set my notifications up properly for that. So compendium. Let's go have a look at something here. Let's go to. I can actually get to everything really easily from the player's handbook, so I'm going to do that. I want to find the ranger. And I want to find the Drake Warden in particular. Eee, that was fun. Drake Warden. Okay, let's zoom in on this so we can see the things. There we go. Okay, so the Drake Warden. Origin. A secret order of rangers who collect and guard draconic lore. Taught you their ways. So if you chose or rolled out that Drake Warden origin, then chances are you're also going to get this. If, when creating your Drake Warden character, you select or roll the second option, I'm just gonna say option number 2 on the, what is that? That's the Drake Warden origin. Drake Warden origin table in the, oh, what is that? That's in Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. You are likely the trainee. Is that what we want to say? Yeah. You have likely, there we go, that's better. You have likely been trained by Narakian Rangers. Narakian Rangers. Sorry, no, you may have been trained by Narakian Rangers. Narakian Rangers are stuff of legends. And so the likelihood that this particular origin is permitted in the game, is the likelihood of taking this particular origin, the likelihood of having this origin is diminished significantly. Roll a D100. On a 1 to 5, you can keep this origin. Otherwise, re-roll on the the Drake Warden origin table. Narakian Rangers. The Narakians. Narakian Rangers order is in Narak, region of the continent. What's that continent name again? Iquambia. There we go. Continent of Iquambia. There we go. So, those who dwell in some area of Osawiran are... No, I don't want to say it that way, because I said it better in my lovely little notes here. So, nobody on Osawiran will likely have this connection, and therefore you would be viewed as a far traveler. No, that's better. Sentence. All the sentences, all the semantics. Gotta love the semantics. Choose the far traveler background to match this Drake Warden origin in Olivos. There we go. And there, that was it. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to get rid of the ranger, so that is now gone. I can save this. I can then share it with the world. Where's my save buttons when I'm zoomed in like this? There it is. Save. There, now it is saved. Woot! Okay, so, problem. I need to get back to my articles now. And huzzah. My challenge was, as I said, kind of, you can see it in the title for the day today, my intention is to start really describing the arcane arts a lot better than I have. And so what are my articles here? Welcome to Olivos. This is my Olivos article right here. I'm going to make this bigger because I'm taking off from that for a bit. Let's have a look what's in here. Oh, there's got to be some opportunity here for me to do some corrections in this. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so there we go. Look at this lovely little description of things here. So this is more of a geographical description as opposed to a cultural description. So perhaps this is not where we want to actually spend our time on. That's not the right article. I need the article that's going to allow me to dive in, give a little bit better description of what's going on with magic. And so let's see here. Where can I do that? I guess I don't really have a place that describes that yet. I guess that might mean that I have to actually create a new article for that purpose, don't I? What do we got in here? Nothing about playable races, except for a little overview article. Classes. You know what? Perhaps this is where I do it. It's in the overview of the classes article. Let's do it. That's where we're going to do it. Oh, and I'm going to have to update this guy anyway. Okay, cool. So I actually have these. Let me open up another window here because I have to actually copy some links. So I'm using World Anvil. I'm debating as to whether or not I fully like it. It's intense. Like if you know World Anvil well, then great, you're on the right path. But I gotta be honest with you, it takes quite a bit to get used to this thing. So I'm going to, that's not what I want to do. How do I want to do this? I want to, as you can see, I'm still trying to figure out the navigation. There's a lot of clicks to World Anvil to get to the right spots. And I think that's probably the thing that I have that I dislike. Once you have it created and you're actually looking at your own world's pages that the public can see, no problem. But when you're trying to actually make it all happen, there's a lot of quicks. So that's all right. Okay, so I have finished up my monk subclass. And I don't want this to be a draft anymore, and I want this published now. So if I've now finished up my monk subclass, let's add it. And let's do the same thing now for the ranger, because I'm now done with it too. Huzzah! Yeah, that's gotta feel pretty good. So now I could take away these weird little short paragraphs that don't actually tell me, oh no, not this, not, okay. Apparently I'm not allowed to highlight things, because otherwise my video capture device decides to have a conniption. So don't highlight things, okay? Okay, I get what we're saying. I will say Arcane, I'm gonna go with Arcane versus, I'm gonna do this here. I shouldn't have actually had that extra in there. Let's do this. The Arcane and the Divine. Divine sources of magic. Are as they appear in every other world. It's the arcane that gets... I don't need to go with this. Let's just say the arcane arts. So here's the deal. In Olivos, this is what my son helped me realize about my world yesterday, and so now I'm super into trying to get this going here. In most other worlds, other realms, the arcane arts are a study published, are a professional study. Wizards publish books that explain the arcane arts. That explain the arcane, including spell scrolls and tomes of great magical knowledge. However, this is not the case usually in Olivos. In Olivos, the arcane arts are more of a trade. A mage either gets their abilities from some magical source like patron or some residual arcane DNA, like as in like you think like draconic bloodline or celestials and celestial sorcerers and such. Those who study the arcane do so via mentorship alone. Magical knowledge is not published, and spell scrolls are very rare. Very, very rare indeed. So the idea here is that Aethan's Weave is something that you can only learn by practical application, practical hands-on learning, as opposed to trying to figure out what the sigils are. And so if somebody were to create something, then the idea would be that they're not going to create it and share it. It's going to become very much their own kind of spell, unless it's being shared through some sort of an arcane college or like a school or something to that effect. So magical knowledge is not published, and spell scrolls are very rare. Rather, it is passed to new mages by way of direct instruction, such as at arcane colleges or schools. The most prolific, is that the way I want to say? The most established, largest, and hey Dak, most established, largest, and impressive arcane school exists in the capital. Whoa, I can't type. In the capital of... This is really small. Let's make this a bit bigger. Whoa, that was a bit too big. There we go. Oh, except now I can't see. Now I can't see the end of it. Fine, I guess that's all I get to do. Here we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. Let's... Oh, my goodness. You never try to zoom in on World Anvil. There's just no... It's just not built for it. That's all there is to it. Alright, let's try it one last time. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, now people can see all of the things that I'm writing here. Much better. Okay. Okay. Capital of Westlyria exists in Sunbell, the capital of Westlyria. In Sunbell, the capital of Westlyria. There we go. Jeepers. Okay. So in Olivos, the arcane arts are more of a trade. A mage either gets their abilities from some magical source like a patron or some residual arcane DNA. Those who study the arcane do so via mentorship alone. Magical knowledge is not published, and the spell scrolls are very rare. Rather, it is passed to new mages by way of direct instruction, such as at arcane colleges or schools. The most established, largest, and impressive arcane school exists in Sunbell, the capital of Westlyria. Some particularly wealthy individuals, wealthy or powerful individuals elsewhere in Olivos may employ their own mage, underground mage school, their own underground, I don't want to say underground, private, that's a better way to say private, mage school. But most hire a mage trained from Sunbelt. So the idea is then that if you actually want to become a wizard, you kind of have to go to school first, where you have to learn in some underground way. So this will actually have an impact on things like bards. Bards don't get they don't get books. It actually means that the feat that would have ritual casting, that ritual caster's feat would not be a thing. And that ritual casting would also have to change quite a bit as well, because ritual casting, and actually that's something I want to pull up here. Let's go to a wizard somewhere. Let's go find myself a wizard. I'm in the... that's the ranger subclasses. Let's go find ourselves a wizard, because it gives a really great description of what oh, I said warlock, I want wizard. There we go. Click on the right thing. Ritual casting, right there. Marvelous. Let's zoom in on this so we can examine things together. Okay, pardon me. Spell casting ability, casting spells, blah, 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 range, where is it? Ritual casting. You can cast a wizard spell as a ritual. The spell has the ritual tag, and you have the spell in your spell book. So, I think what we're going to say, I think that might be the one thing that we do. If you lose your spell book, is that the spell book part here, is very much in your own shorthand. So, I don't know about this. Something feels different about this. At first level, you have a spell book containing 6 first level wizard spells of your choice, except for your cantrips, which are fixed in your mind. So in this case, how are we going to do this, guys? Help me out with this. I want this to be more of a trade as opposed to profession, but they're still going to have a spell book. So is this a spell book that the school publishes? Or is this a spell book that is just basically your own shorthand? Because we don't want, and here's the thing with the spell books, they shouldn't be easily copied by other wizards. They should need to actually require some extra work to do so, and finding lost spell books would be relatively rare too, because even the spell scrolls are rare. Let's try this on for size. Let's see here. Let's try this on for size. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling like it too. Wizards and other arcane practitioners do still use spell books, but they are trained to create them, to write their spells in unique ways such that they become induplicable. I'm making up words now. Induplicable. Yeah, exactly. Different wizards using different types of spell books are learning different types of strategies or different types of different ways of writing their own shorthand. While some wizards may... Actually, that's probably the better way to do it. A particularly clever wizard may be able to trace a particularly clever individual, that's better, may be able to trace the training of a wizard based on the type of shorthand they used in their spell books. for example, if a wizard was trained under the Archwizard Harbeck. I'm not going to say Harbeck, that's silly. Who is my wizard? Who is my wizard? I have my wizard. Oh, I didn't bring that with me today. Who is my wizard? I have a wizard. I should go find out who that is. Did I put that in here? Did I pick a name for this person yet? Yeah, Bryn. Bryn Belate Benedict. That's right, Bryn Benedict. That's who it is. That's one of my main wizards in the campaign. People will definitely come across that person eventually. So that's what I'm going to say, Bryn Benedict. Let's zoom this back in so we can see the things. There we go. Okay, so Archwizard Bryn Benedict. Bryn Benedict. Oops. So, for example, if a wizard was trained under the Archwizard Bryn Benedict, likely the shorthand that trainee used would bear resemblance to that of Bryn. However, still remain encoded. Okay, so then where do people find more spells if they want them? They kind of have to go to the schools. If a person wished to learn more of the arcane arts, they would need to attend a school or place of learning where they would be mentored by teachers, strong mages, by mages. Now here's the thing, and these mages also have to be mentored, just period. But mages at larger schools like that in Sunbell, Claymouth, and where's the other one? Where did I'm gonna place one. Do I want to place one more magical school? I do. I want to put one more magical school in Fuencia. So let's go pick a location in Fuencia. Let's do this. Let's go to my Asgard's map. Let's pick a location. I could just do this now because I'm just creating the worlds, and I'm allowed to say I want one here and just kind of like throw a dart, and that's the one that we're gonna have. Let's see here. Gotta open it up though, so I gotta find my map file. I think this is the most recent one I've done. Oh, apparently I need to update it. Oh well, we're gonna go with this anyway. This will still give me the locations. So Fuencia. Whoa! Look at all those. That's fine. There's so many emblems here. I don't want to look at the emblems. Can I get rid of those? Let's get rid of the emblems. There we go. Whoa! Okay, so Menarden has a temple to Porta, the deity of craft. But what if I don't want everything to happen in the same city? Which I think is a good way to go. And actually, I know that I changed these borders a little bit. I know that Feywassen is actually part of... Oh no, that's the border here. This is the border here. So this must be like a cultural change here. Belolin actually wouldn't be a bad place to put it, because Belolin is also kind of the main source of a lot of deific knowledge with the old Belolin spirits. But that might be concentrating too much in there. Feywassen is out. Here's the thing. Sunbell's not that far away. Right? That's where Sunbell is right there. And Claymouth is right there. So, like, they're already got mage schools that are super close to each other. I want to see if I can find a mage school, place a mage school, much further out of the way. Something harder to get to. And maybe this is it. that perhaps what we do is we go to this place called Torrenavedo. Torrenavedo is basically a place where chalk is worshipped openly. Now, for most people, they don't know this, and so shh, you're not telling anybody. But chalk is a magical being. We'll put it simply that way. Chalk is a magical being as opposed to a god, but it has been elevated to deific status, as in like lesser deity. And so maybe there, or Yunlermo. Yunlermo would be interesting because Yunlermo would be named after Yunlil, who is the god of the goddess of the sun, the sun goddess. And so, well, right, guys, you let me decide. Do I go something a bit more equatorial location in Menerdin or even Feywassen, which we've already said there's going to be Fey magic there? Do I go more deific background and say Belolin? Do I do Yunlermo because it's got a link to the sun god, or do I just go completely separate and say Torrenavedo? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think... sometimes if I can't do the deciding, then the dice do the deciding. And I got dice. I got lots of dice. So, options are Feywassen, Menerdin, which is already big, Belola, or Belolin, Torrenavedo, or Yunlermo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. That's a D10, right? Alright, D10, help me make the decisions. We're going to go left to right. So, left to right goes Feywassen, Torrenavedo, Belolin, Menerdin, and Yunlermo. Tell me what you want. It says Yunlermo. You know what? I can always change it later. Let's go Yunlermo. Claymouth, and Yunlermo. Sunbells in Wesleria. Claymouth, Wesmia, and Yunlermo in Valencia. That's what we'll do. Oh, mages at larger schools like that in Sunbelt, Claymouth, and Yunlermo are hired by their governments and instruct in the approved arts, in the approved arcane arts. In Sunbelt, no, actually, we're not even going to say that. In Sunbelt, there are many areas of learning in the arcane, including colleges specifically for bards, bards, wizards, and various schools of wizards, and even more casual practitioners, which is where the feats can come in if they want to. In Claymouth, practitioners are expected to learn only that which exalts Alalos, the mother of the mystic mother. And in Fuencia, in Yunlil, or sorry, Yunlermo. In Yunlermo, what are they going to allow in Yunlermo? They're going to allow... they want to allow for magic that would be... See, in Fuencia, their biggest challenge has been chalk. And chalk is the white sister, or the basically the deity of trickery and deceit and who happens to also tend to be the one that thieves tend to follow. So if chalk is it kind of helps out with the thieves and with subterfuge and such, they're gonna want detection magic in particular. So like divinations and in Lermo, divination. I'm gonna say divination abjuration. There we go. In Lermo, most mages focus on divination or abjuration magic as they are taught. Hello, Pixie. Very nice to have you with me. Thank you very much for joining. I actually like that little emote quite nice. It's cute. Okay. They are taught to detect, subterfuge, and protect wealthy. Like quarry that has a high value. Yeah, that's probably the best way to go. We'll also make sure we mention Aethin's Weave. Aethin's Weave is known to be the source of arcane power. If a creature achieves, it has, or if a person has, we'll say that, if a person has access to arcane power from some other source, such as from a fae, fiend, celestial, or Shadowfell based source, they are often seen by practitioners through Aethin's Weave as, I don't know, I can't say heretic because they're not really considered heretical. They're just not sure. They just don't understand the source of the arcane power. So if they don't understand the source, how do you respond when you don't understand the source of somebody's power? It just makes no sense. Do you respond by saying, do you just simply say as with uncertainty? They are often seen by practitioners through Aethin's Weave with uncertainty. Some respond by shunning those with such. Actually, if a person has arcane power from some other source, such as from a draconic, fae, fiend, celestial, shadowfell based source, they are often seen by practitioners through Aethin's Weave with uncertainty. By shunning those with such natural access to the arcane, and others are revered. Others revere such beings as if they were selected by Aethin himself. So Aethin's the god of magic. Aethin's Weave is known to be the source of arcane power. I should actually do a link to Aethin while we're at it in this article. That would be wise. So let's go find... Oh my goodness. Let's go through all the clickability stuff here of World Anvil. Find my deity. There we go. There's my article on Aethin, the fine weaver. Huzzah. Aethin himself. There we go. Cool. There we go. I guess I should go into Aethin's Weave and update that then too, because this is kind of important stuff here. The arcane arts, and then the other classes that I haven't covered yet. So this is kind of important stuff here. Let's save this, shall we? Where's my save buttons? Save right there. Yeah, there we go. Gotta love the chromatic passages in the music. Gotta love it. There we go. Okay, so that I totally just distracted myself with music. That was marvelous. Okay, so let's go and check out Aethin's Weave and see if I've got, or Aethin, my fine weaver, and then I can start chunking in the classes and go back and double check some of these classes as well, make sure that they actually make sense to all that. When do I go into 7-8 time? These are troubling times. These are troubling times indeed. Actually, it's Lo-Fi Girl, so I don't think I ever go into 7-8 time, and I choose Lo-Fi Girl on purpose because it's there, it's good tunage, and it doesn't distract me because I'm a musician, and I'm easily distracted by music, as you have seen. Okay. Alright, here we go. Aethin, child of Alalos and Cotanilos, is said to be the second of their children given to the portfolio of magic. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Pixie. Appreciating that a great deal. I'm glad you're enjoying what you're seeing. Okay, so it said mages often refer to magic in this realm as Aethin's Weave, as Aethin is depicted as a weaver with a loom. His emblem is a golden 5-point star in a violet circle field, though many mages use a loom to represent Aethin as well. I need to do a change to this already. 5-point star. Why is it a 5-point star? Do I want to change that? I feel like I want to change that. I feel like it should be an 8-point star or something like that. Or maybe the 5 points. What are the 5 points referred to? And the odd comment. Of course, I am very much distracted by odd comments. Or, you know, even comments. I'm also distracted by them. Yes. Anyway, okay, so, is in Westlyria. Yeah, so Aethin is most significantly worshipped in Westlyria. Yeah, none of this here is really telling about magic, so maybe I should actually take what I had in that other article that I just put. What did I just work on again? I worked on classes and all of those. So let's go borrow this, because this is good information about the weave and it's kind of important. We'll just go copy, and then I can just edit what it got to edit. Oh! I forgot. That's how it tells me when there was a follow. It's sudden, and it's in my ears. So thank you, Pixie, for keeping me awake. I appreciate it. Okay, that was highly unexpected. All right. Enough of that. Let's go to. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this in here. So, first things first, let's add this section in here, making this look pretty, of course, too, because all the pretty is important. There we go. Okay, so Aethin, child. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Is that gonna freak me out? Oh, it didn't. Wow, yes. 1 win. Okay. So, golden 5-point star. Why 5? What are we pointing to with the 5-point star? Why is it 5 points? Because in other realms, it's like 4 points or 8 points. And it's usually like for Mistra in Faerun, or in the Forgotten Realms. I believe those 8 points really speak towards the schools of magic. And then, you know, since then, there's been lots of other things published that have added extra schools, like Graviturgy and Chronergy. However, I feel like there has to be a reason why I chose 5 points, but I never wrote it down, and so now I'm going to either have to create this or say, nah, 5 points isn't right. 1 point could be the mother, Mystic Mother. Which is more divine in nature, but that's fine. The other one could be the basic schools of magic. Another one could be that certain realms where Aethan accepts the weave as being connected to, like the Feywild or Shadowfell, or even the Outer Planes. But I don't think I want Aethan to be connected to those so much. I would accept him being connected to the Feywild and Shadowfell because they are basically reflections of the material plane in some way, shape, or form. The 4 elements and the void. That's not a bad idea. Earth, except that it gets super focused on elements then. And then, so all of the other things like draconic magic or like 4 elements is very much evocation focused only. And the void would, I would assume, therefore, would be like necromantic only for the most part. Elements in the void's not a bad idea. Yeah, 4 elements in the void. Do I want to say it that way? How do you explain all like things like transmutation, conjuration, etc. then as being part of that weave? See, and I think that's the thing, is I don't want the weave, I don't want the magic to be directly connected to things seen. I think I want it to be the unseen source. Yeah, right. I get it too. And like, there's lots of other gaming systems like Legend of the Five Rings, and so on and so forth that use the 4 elements in the void a lot. Yeah, yeah, I think I want it to be a bit more unseen than that. So, like the average person isn't going to be able to sense, oh, look at that wind. That is obviously a source of, like the sky magic. What's the other place that Zadia has that with the Dragon Prince and such? I'm kind of leaning towards saying screw it and not making it a 5-point star, to be honest, because I feel like I'm trying to shoehorn an idea into something I've already written down, and I don't want to do that. I want to actually have the idea that fits the realm. And so the idea that fits the realm in this case might just be the fact that it is trades based, that you learn from somebody else who's already a professional in, or not a professional, who's already particularly skilled in the arcane. And they would be skilled in specific ways. So I think I am going to leave it as like schools of magic. Is that what I want to do? Schools of magic? I think I'm going to go schools of magic, but I'm going to make this interesting. I'm going to make it like a 8-point golden 8 with a violet circle field. I also said in a violet circle field. There's a reason for that. Man, I really like, I love his emblem. I really do, and I don't want to mess with it too much, but at the same time it has to have validity to it. So I like the violet circle field. It's kind of like being the background that the magic is, or like representing the background that magic is to the world. And then maybe if we have the 5-point star, what we're talking about then is the 5 points being the biggest influencers on magic. And so we could say that just the elements are, okay, I'm gonna like violet field being the background that is magic, and the 5 points representing major influences on the weave. So let's say like one of them could be, go ahead, give me some ideas. What could some of these sources be? Like one of the things could be the elements. Elements are a big thing, so that would mean all of them are represented by 1 point. We could say the Feywild and Shadowfell could also be accepted influences. Olalos definitely needs to be on that because that's Aethan's mom. Cotonelos is dead, so we can't really include him, but we could say Olalos and Cotonelos would have been the reason for one of the points. Let's go for some of the other big sources. Magical beings? Planar magical beings, though? Do we want to allow extra planar, like outer planar, or even far realm things? I don't like the idea of bringing the far realm in. I kind of want to feel like I want to make it so that like Aethan is fully disconnected from the far realm. Maybe doesn't even realize it exists. Hmm. One of the things that I like, though, is the idea of chaos, but that's kind of brought in by Feywild and Shadowfell a bit. Olalos and see, the elements are balance. Feywild and Shadowfell are chaos. Olalos and Cotonilos are order. Where else can we get as our sources that we're accepting of? Wow, I might have to come back to this. I might have to come back to this, and I might have to unpublish this for a little bit so that I can come back to it. Oh, boy. Let's go look at sources of magic. Why don't we just do that? So, wizards. The lure of knowledge, wisdom, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. There we go. It's clad in some... I like some of the stuff that they put at the beginning of the player's handbook because it can sometimes jog ideas. Checking, rechecking his work. A human scribes an intricate magic circle and chalk on the bare stone floor. Oh, man. What if we just simply said that the material plane was actually an influencer? That you need to have something about the world you're in as like a thread. Yeah, okay. The material plane itself. And the vibrational energy of it. Or is that what the... No. No, the material plane itself can simply be a place. Okay. Yeah, okay. Because the magic doesn't necessarily mean... It's not limited to the material plane, obviously. But you need components of the material plane that you're on to do it. I get to change my mind later on, though, right? I'm the DM. I get to do that? Yeah, the trick then is... There we go. That's what I wanted. I want something I can use to connect all these ideas together. That's what I need, because then I can actually justify the whole... the existence of the other realms, for that matter, but also... Excuse me, what some of these guys do is portal magic, you know, conjuration. They can open up portals to other areas. They can call monsters from other areas, from other planes. So there has to be some sort of a thread that connects them all. Why would you just call it that? What is that called? When you stitch everything together in a quilt. What's the one that's called that you stitch? That's the one. I need to look that word up. A word that describes connecting everything together, not just stitching, but like, what is it called? In quilting steps. Quilting steps, because there's something in quilting where you actually hold all of the layers together. What is that called? Pre-wash your fabric, iron, measure, lay your quilt out, sew it, iron your rows. Thanks. Sure, whatever. I'm gonna clear that all out later on. Anyway, where's my steps? Okay, so iron, pin, trim, the batting. Okay, so the quilt backing, cut the backing to size, assemble the quilt. Quilt, cut the binding strips, sew the binding, sew around the corners, join the bindings. Come on, wow. You know, my other half makes the quilt. What's it with the long arm? What does the long arm do? Like, anybody who makes a quilt, you guys are insane. You guys are fantastic, and you're insane all at the same time. 17 steps? I can't make it past 3. Okay, anyway. Consolidate? It's kind of close to bringing it together. I do think I really want to have a word that says something like stitch. Stitching terms. Let's just go like that. Or synonyms for stitch. There we go. Synonyms for stitch. Consolidate. Okay, let's see thesaurus.com. Save my butt. Nope. Y'all did nothing. Fasten. Thread. Quilting long arm. Is that all it's called? Is just quilt? I don't want to know how much. Like, what do they do? That's just what they quilted. Okay. I don't like it. I really, really dislike the word quilt. I don't want to. So, the stitch. I'm going to call it the stitch. For now, the thread that connects all arcane sources. So the elements are like a tool. The Feywild and the Shadowfell could also be kind of like a source for that tool. But because it's chaotic, it means everything's shifting and changing. The elements help try to bring balance to it. Olalos and Cotoneils try to bring order to it. The material plane itself also provides for like the space that it can happen, and the stitch is the thing that brings it all together. Yeah, I feel like there's some good description available here. Okay, cool. Let's go with this. So the emblem is a golden 5-point star. Let's run with this for now, because this actually feels like as I'm going through this, I wrote this whole golden 5-point star thing like a year and a half ago. When you're this far away from when you wrote something, sometimes, and you don't explain it to yourself, it's your own dang fault, guys. Write everything down. This is the learning you're getting from me right now. Write everything down. Okay, so, oh, you're on an ad. There might be an ad going. That's right, we like ads. Ads help. Okay, so, violet field being on the background, is... But they also use a loom to represent Aethan as well. Okay. Okay. The emblem represents various components of the arcane. The violet field represents the weave itself, and the 5-pointed star represents the most significant components, most significant influences on the weave. The elements is the top point. Do I want to make it to the top point? Nope, I want the stitch to be the top point. I want the elements and the Feywild and Shadowfell to be opposite points. The top left point represent balance, opposite the chaos of the Feywild and Shadowfell. The top right point. Olalos and Kotanilos represent represent the source, the ordered source. No, represent the. How do I want them? I said that I wanted them to represent order, but then how does that compare against the material plane itself? Okay, I don't know. Represent order. No, because that's what balance I want to stay. I don't know if I maybe wanted to even use them. Man, this is a lot harder than I thought. Come on, guys. Okay. Okay, so Olalos and Kotanilos coupled with the material plane material plane. Olalos and Kotanilos represent the divine substance of the arcane, brought to the material plane as the grounding substance. There we go. The top point of the 5-star compass represents the stitch, that which connects all sources of the arcane. There we go. I like that. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. And then the arcane arts. In most other realms, it's a professional study, which I've already gone all through all this. Blah. Beauty. Okay. I think I like this. Let's not draft it anymore. Let's publish it. Let's save it. Now I get to go through all the other subclasses and try to fix things. This is the tedious side of things. Yeah, but it's also got to happen. So, because as soon as I have all this set up and all of these overarching ideas set up, then makes a whole lot more sense. So let's go into all of those classes and make sure that what they have there matches this lovely new lore, or lovely explanation of magic first. So let's get rid of that. Let's make it so we can see more. Right. So this is the thing with artificers. They can't actually have a lot of written things. Yeah, there's things that, where experimentation. I'm going to change that. Experimentation. Arcane experimentation is commonly trusted. I'm just going to say such science is endorsed and even funded by private interests in governing bodies in specific locations of the world. Successful artificers tend to find when you have a job and you don't have to worry about what it starts with an S. Secure employment. There we go. Secure employment. But successful artificers are rare. Are even rarer than artificers. Archers are just rare. There we go. There are artificers in the School of Magic. This so far fits. Private funding so far, all of this fits. Cloud giants have some. Yeah. Those who learn skills of artificers outside of these usual locations tend to do so in secret for fear of retribution from theocratic institutions. Yeah, okay, that works. Where's the save? Or does it auto-save that for me? I would love that if that just auto-saves. Does that auto-save? I have to go look it up now. Let's go look. Yep, it auto saves. How marvelous. Okay, good. Beauty. Okay. Let's get in. That's not deities, and it's not the World Encyclopedia. Oh my goodness. All the clicks. All the clicks to find all the things. Okay. Classes. Okay, so barbarians. There's not much for magical stuff in barbarians, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Bards, there's lots. Bards are quite common. However, the manner in which they spread their stories, music, and dance is not always received well. While certain areas are quite amenable to interesting and daring stories of adventures and war, those areas tend toward the official knowledge of some leader, such as the Mystic Mother in Wesmia. They are less inclined to suffer stories that do not exalt the approved deities. Each bardic college, therefore, tends to be frequented in specific regions in specific ways. So, the bardic colleges tend to be welcomed in all areas of the world, include the College of Valor, Swords, Whispers, and Eloquence. However, College of Lore. Written lore that is available to the public is published only by clerics and followers of the Mystic Mother under her direction in Wesmia. Therefore, any such lore that is not collected and endorsed is considered heretical. Yeah, so this still matches the idea that we're all doing trades as opposed to it. They're embraced in Wesleria, where the schools of magic deign to encourage such storytelling, despite the fact that the stories remain by word of mouth. Stories remain distributed by word of mouth as opposed to by the quill. By word of mouth as opposed to the quill. Nonetheless, I'm not going to say libraries, repositories. Repositories, including bardic lore, are far more common. Are just more common. There we go. However, there is a library, the library of the realm, the only place where books are actually allowed, and so that's likely where we're going to find a lot of the studious arcane arts happening. This is where we had our discussion last about the College of Glamour Guild, or the Glamour Guild in Fuencia, and the idea that there could be some drag opportunities in our storytelling here. College creation. All of this is really good. None of that is going to be problematic for the College of Creation. Bloobity 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 blue. Some selfish color. Yeah, no, I think, okay, cool. So that, the bards are now updated to match this wonderful thing that we've done. The next, rogues are the next one. Okay, good. Marvelous. Okay, I got 40 minutes. We could do rogues, right? We could do rogues. And being as there is, actually, I wonder if we should go into feats and start and just kind of quickly check out what the feats are. That's not what I want to look at. Let's go to Roll20, which, Dak, if you're watching right now, you're going to notice that there are some applications. So if you wanted to check those out for your Ghost of Sela in-game, you could always check those out. At least I think they're all for yours. Yep, they're all for yours, so that's good. Nonetheless, tools, compendium, I wish to see all of the feats. I think the best place for me to do that is to go in here. Let's look for feats. Rules. Character advancement. Feats. Here we go. Feats. Huzzah. Oh, am I gonna have to go through each individual feat? Oh no! Okay, well, fine. I'll go through each. I'll just go through these. So, actor, alert, athlete, charger, crossbow expert, dungeon delver, durable, elemental adept. Maybe this one matters. Healer, not likely an issue. Keen Mind, I don't think is an issue, but I'm just going to double check it. Same thing for Linguist. Anything magical I'm going to check out just to be on the safe side. Observance, probably okay. Ritual Caster, that'll be a big one there. Sharpshooter, Shield Master, Skills, Spell Sniper. It feels to me like a lot of these are probably going to be fine, but I just want to double check them all, really. Oh, look at you go. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and do that then. Heck to the yeah. Look at you go there, Dak. Thank you very much. I am totally going to take advantage of your work. Alright, where are we here? We're going into the ghost. I'm going to... Dak, if I open this up, am I going to be giving away anything that viewers shouldn't see? If I do that, I better hold off on that until you tell me that that's okay. Because we're going to be logging in using the GM view. And if there's supposed to be hidden things, I don't want to mess with that. Okay. When you gain this feat... Okay, so you already have to have the ability. So Elemental Adept, no problem. This doesn't have anything to do with magic. We're okay. You've studied languages and codes, gaining the following benefits. I'm going to pull away this one, I think. Because the written thing, I'm going to say I want to make this guy... Okay. He gives me the go-ahead, so in I go. We're going into the Ghost of Salain. I still feel like I'm saying that wrong. What do we got here? Dax, is it in Dax stuff? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do you go? Where do you go? He says he's got all of the rituals, or all of the feats available in here somewhere. Let's see, where do you have them all? DM screen? Nah. No. Nope, nope, nope. I don't know where it would be either. Okay. Bethel history. That's your world. I would have to go hunting, dude. Of ships and sea. Magic items. Maybe supplemental material. Feats. Is that in here? I don't know. Okay, well, that's okay. I'll come back to that in a second. I do know for sure that I'm not a fan of keeping a linguist. So we're going to go and put this into a new thing. Feats and Traits. Published feats. And we're going to say... actually, I'm just going to do it this way because I don't actually like editing it in the quick version of things. So I'm going to... What do you mean there's no articles in this category? I just made one. Try that again. Player's Handbook. Player Options. Feats and Traits. What? Okay, what happened to it? Unpublished articles. Okay, that's really weird. I was certain I just made one. Maybe it's because I'm zoomed in. It's in the player section. Okay, players. Oh yeah! I suppose that makes sense. Look at that lovely long list. Okay, so who else? What else do I need to check? I've already checked Elemental Adept. Thanks, by the way, for this, bud. Mage Slayer, man. So far, there's... I think we got all the big important ones. I don't think there's anything... I mean, there's... Did you get the racial feats in here, too? From Xanthers? I don't know. I think we got most of them. We'll have to check out the racial feats in a sec, too, but... Interesting. I felt like there was... Magic Initiate. Did I grab that one? Yes, I did. Okay, so... Dak, how often? Okay, so you're saying to me that you're concerned about me helping you out with your campaign, and that you might thought I was working with a Luddite. You just told me to scroll down, man. We're good. We're totally fine. Okay, so Bountiful Luck, Dragon Fear, Dragon Hide, Fortitude, Elven Accuracy, Fade Away, Fade Teleportation's kind of interesting, although I don't think I have to worry about that. Orcish Fury, all that's good. Natasha's feats, I love these feats. Fade Touched, Fighting Initiative, Metamagic Adept. That's the one I'm gonna need to check out. Metamagic. Wow, that's hard to read in dark mode. That's better. Okay, we'll just do that this time. You've learned 2 metamagic options from your choice of the sorcerer class. So I'll have to make sure I mention something about that too. So to see how metamagic works in I'm gonna have to dive into that in Olivos. Okay, fine. So that was that. Okay, and then Metamagic Adept and Telekinetic. You learn the Mage Hand cantrip. Is that magic that does this, do you think? Yeah, it is. Yeah, this ends up being a magical thing. So, telekinetic would probably need to be learned after having seen somebody else do it. Or something like that. I think that's what I'm going to do with that one. And same thing probably with telepathic. Yeah. Yeah, that in Olivos, that one, Shadow Touched. Just making sure. Yeah, that's fine. That still fits. So it's really okay. So the linguist is an issue. Mage Slayer is fine. Magic Initiate, you can choose to bark. So with a Magic Initiate, you kind of have to get these. You need to be exposed to a mentor to be able to get this first. And I was going to say the same thing about the other two. Ritual Caster. Same story. Spell Sniper. Okay, you've already got the abilities. Warcaster, you've already got the abilities too. So, okay, so that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to say that telekinetic, telepathic, and I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to make this a simple thing. So, let's see if I could try, okay, what does this say? Okay, let's not put that there. No, just delete that because that's useless. This didn't save anything either. Okay, all right. Uncategorized articles, do I have any? No, okay, good. So, I need to try and put this in the Feats and Traits section again. I want to add an article. This article is going to be published feats. Oh, I didn't hit the create the article thing. Ha, that's why. Let's do that. Okay. So now when I go back to my Feats and Traits, there we go. Let's go edit this article. Publish feast. Most feats published in Wizards of the Coast sourcebooks are acceptable for use as they are written. A select few feats will have limitations based on how magic works in Olivos. So we'll start off with the Metamagic Adept. Metamagic Adept. And I'm just going to simply say, for an explanation of how metamagic occurs in Olivos, read the Warlock subclass article for this world, which I haven't written yet, so I'm just leaving it like that, and I'll come back and I'll fix it later. The other ones are arcane feats, not feasts. Oh my word, feats. All right, so magic initiate, ritual caster, telepathic, no, sorry, telekinetic, and telepathic. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I hit a control V, that's why. Telepathic, there we go, are feats that are based in the arcane arts. The most common... the most likely way for a character to achieve these feats. This is one of the things I've always had a trouble with regards to feats. Maybe I suppose I need to write in here too. Acceptable for use as written. Selecting a feat should, and I'm going to put that in italics, should be based on the character's life experiences. For example, a character that has never entered a tavern will not likely suddenly achieve... Oh, am I losing some frames here? Oh, I lost some frames. No frames. Don't do that to me. Okay. Okay. Will not likely achieve the tavern brawler feat. However, a rogue, or let's go with somebody, a barbarian who spends enough time with a mage may earn the magic initiate feat. There we go. I'm putting that out there very clearly because I really don't like it when feats suddenly appear for no darn good reason whatsoever, and there's no backstory, no canonic reason for it. So I wrote that in here because it matters. Whenever I'm running a campaign, if somebody says, can I take the observant feat? The first question I need to be asking is, what makes you get that feat? Why do you deserve that feat? What makes you observant? Well, when I rolled a nat 20 on this, okay, now I give it to you. Sure, that makes total sense. And for that matter, I may even simply reward feats to players who do successful learnings and attempts at it before their levels indicate that they are supposed to take a feat if they want to. It's simply because if a character actually works for it, they deserve it. But they have to work for it. And so, yeah, if you happen to be one of my players and you're like, I really want that observant feat, then I'm going to say, well, then what is your character going to do to try to learn how to do that? And then as they do it, I'll maybe use some dice rolls to see if they are how long it takes for them to be successful. Most likely for a way for a character to achieve these feats is through exposure to some sort of arcane mentor. There. That's all I wanted to put in here. It's now published. It's now saved. Okay. And I don't want to be in here for too long. Thanks again for this stack, by the way. That did help quite a bit. Beauty, 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 beauty. Okay, I shared nothing. Nobody saw anything. Shh. Okay, we're good. All right. So with that, I think I am ready to go to the rogue. And because Arcane Trickster is in there, this will work. Alrighty. And this might be the last thing I get a chance to do today. Player options, classes. And so I have to make a rogue article, which I have not done yet. Rogue, subclasses and lore. What do I have to do with the rogue again anyway? Let's go look at that. Here we go. Rogue. Oh, there's lots of things I have to write in here. Yeah, okay, so it's mostly just lore by the looks of things. So I'm just going to call this one, where to go? Rogue lore in Olivos, because that's pretty much all that we have to worry about here. Create this article, and because things are weird, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, so I can actually open the article the way I want. There it is. Why is it appearing above the ranger? That seems so silly. Ranger comes first, because well, whatever, I'll deal with it later. Okay. Rogues are common throughout the realm of Olivos. They appear... Actually, hang on. With very few exceptions. The rules... Do I recommend World Anvil? Jury's out. Jury's out because it is... I mean, there is so much you can do with it. I did not realize how much there was that I could do with it. However, if I were to go back in time, and I may still do this, I may still take a couple of days and just switch things up. I think that what I'm using for what I'm using World Anvil for, I probably could have just made a website. And I still might just do that because, yeah, it's just so involved. But at the same time, World Anvil does have some features in there that allow you to, keep track of your own secrets, keep track of your own lore that you don't want your players to know. You can share it with players. If you spend money on World Anvil, you can also be very specific about what gets shared with who, when. But I use Discord for a lot of that. So, it really depends on what you want. If you're looking for a place that you can keep track of everything for your campaign, including all your homebrew, including all your lore, including the secrets that you've shared or that you want to share with specific individuals at specific times, then yeah, World Anvil's worth it, but you got to spend money on it. If all you're trying to do is basically catalog your world, I probably wouldn't recommend it. But I'm just so far into it now that I now have to actually make effort to move out of it. And I may just still do that, but like I said, it would take some effort and some time to do it, and I would right now I'm okay with going through it. What I do appreciate about World Anvil, and I'll show you, is for anybody who wants to read things, it's relatively easily navigated. So this is kind of what World Anvil looks like for my users without some of the extra stuff at the top. That it's really easy to find all the things here. It's really easy to find the player's handbook information, the World Atlas, and so you can see certain specifics about things like Claymouth, because I've got an article on that. Or no, I don't have the article on Claymouth yet. What's going on here? Balolan. I haven't got, so I've got a couple of settlements put in here. You can the maps are actually really good because you can actually put specific things on the maps. Like you can drop pins right onto the maps. In fact, I should probably drop pins right onto this map right now. For example, I've got pins here that say this is where our Temple to Yunlil is. This is where the Battle of Dyrdadur was. If I were to say where everybody is currently located, I should do that. Where am I here? Let's edit this map. I should totally do this right now. That. I actually have to make this smaller so I can actually work on it though, so just bear with me here, guys. So I can take this lovely little map that I've got on here. This is the reason why I chose World Anvil in the first place, was because of the map feature. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this lovely little thing here. Hey, what happened to my tunes? They got really quiet. Why'd they get really quiet? Why am I not hearing the tunes? That's weird. Alright, well, I'm hoping you guys are hearing the tunes all the same. I just lost them. Anyway, so as an example, right here, in this general region would be where the Sunken Citadel was. Well, I'm glad you can hear music. Why don't I? Let's go. You know what? That bothers me just enough that I'm going to go and see if I can figure out what happened to my... What happened to my, monitor. Oh, somebody turned on one of my Bluetooth speakers in the other room. That would do it. That would most certainly do it. There we go. And I still don't hear it. Let's try that then. That is so weird. So, why don't I hear the things? Spotify. And I am here. Whatever. Computer's just deciding it's having a conniption. Let it have its moment. Anyway, this is where the Sunken Citadel was. So I am going to put the Sunken Citadel there with the Whitebud tree. Okay, that would be my Friday campaign that experienced this. And it is there is no related map per se. I do need to choose the type of pin. This will be like a relic or a ruin. Do we have ruins? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to say with this being a Sunken Citadel and this being kind of a druidy-like thing, I'm going to go with like green. That seems right. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And now I've created my marker. And just like that, there's where my Sunken Citadel was. Nope, that's too far away. Or not far away enough. This should be... that should be where it was. Solved. Okay, so I'm also going to put my other pin out here because I haven't put my pin out here yet. For where that other for where the players of that campaign are. So currently the players of that campaign are right around there. Friday campaign players. There we go. And let's have it like a person. Is that a type of pin? Okay, that didn't work. Let's try. Let's make them blue. There we go. There's all the blue pins. Where's one that I can use that represents people? Well, none of those, but that's okay. Maybe I'll just use the circle. Circle? Is that what I want to do? Question mark? Plane? Mountain? Triangle? Beer? Nah. We're not actually at beer yet. Let's go to... I guess we'll just go with a circle. So this is where the Friday players currently are located. That's good. And there we go. And there. So now if people actually wanted to learn a bit more about this particular, any of these locations, they certainly could. So like that's Milo Silver Mine. That's the community of Milo itself. There must be something important there. There's the Cios Bridge, Sunken Citadel, and the Cradle of Life with a question mark because we don't know necessarily where it is. I just wanted to make sure I kept the lore. I will eventually get more, like I could actually link this one here. Let's say like I could take this pin, and currently this pin is located there. What I can also do is have it open up a or link, I should say, to an article, and in this particular case I would have it link to Yunlil, right there, Goddess of the Sun, there, so that if somebody were to go to that map in Olivos, then I could. Then they could click on that and go. It'd take them straight to Yunlil. So there's I mean, in that respect, there's a lot of things that are in World Anvil that I like, particularly with the maps. But if it really is just keeping track of lore, just make a website using Wix or well, not Weebly. I would never recommend Weebly, but Wix or WordPress or something along those lines. Okay, back to the task at hand. Rogues. Oh, I zoomed it out a lot. Let's zoom back in. Too far. Huzzah. Okay. Chonka. I got about 13 minutes before I have to stop here, guys, so I can get some of these things here. With the rules in the published source books by Wizards of the Coast work well in all of those as well. So let's go with our first one, which is the Thief subclass. There we go. Okay, so with the Thief. In particular with the Thief, there are many thieves in Fuencia, being the fact that it's basically a commercial location. That is so weird. Maybe it's... I'm still bothered by the fact that I can't hear my own music. I might just restart my Spotify here. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I know it's just I'm getting to the end of my stream, but music's important. Music is important to me. Oh no! Ah! That's what I have to say about that. Boy, did I ever mess something up there. I have no idea how I did that. OBS just decided to dip out on me. Oh, wow. Nope, my computer's just decided to have a never mind day. Nope. Okay, fine. So something else is going on with my music, so sorry guys. But apparently it's telling me that it's a Monday. Alright, there are many thieves in Fuencia. Let's just get this done. There are many thieves in Fuencia with all its wealth. The Redeemers are a faction that may use thieves for various fundraising purposes, we'll say. That'll be a good way of saying it. Yeah, there we go. The Arcane Trickster. This is the one that I had to spend a little bit of time dealing with the man, I don't know about you guys, but the quality of the everything is just saying nah. Okay. Man. It looks great on my side, but I don't know maybe it looks only sketchy on one of my machines. That's fine. Oh, the quality is very poor, so I'm not going completely crazy. It's very poor quality. Maybe I just need to call it, guys. Maybe I just need to do that. Maybe I'm just having enough of these issues here that it's saying nah, heck to the nah. Because the computer's just saying, I am going to do that. You know what, though? I am going to tell you guys that I appreciate everything you guys do. And, you know, peeking in here. Pixie, thank you again for the follow. I definitely appreciate it. Dak, as always, glad to have you on the stream. Thank you also for the help, too, with that list of the feats. I appreciate it. I'm back. Quality's back. Woot! You know what? I said I was going to get this done. I'm getting this done. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so while the Arcane Trickster may learn secretly or even openly, the main point here is that they can, an Arcane Trickster. Oh my word. Oh my word. Please tell me that that was okay. Technology. Technology, I love you. Arcane Tricksters will only learn their craft, their arcane skills from the mentorship of some other mage. This can happen openly in Sunbell or some other arcane college. However, more likely occurs peripherally to arcane schools, such as in through private patronage. Ah, the arcane. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Let's just leave it there. Actually, what I may just do is say that there's a lot here. Rogues are common. Many rogues exist in Fluencia, where wealth is a common. It attracts. Let's go. Where wealth attracts those who don't have it or think others should have it. The Redeemers also employ a number of rogues among their faction, as they believe self-actualization is worthy of self-actualization proves one's worth. There we go. There may be other rogues trained and employed by monarchs and government officials to act as spies or for other purposes of subterfuge. There. That way I don't have to write all about all of these things. Thief. That's not necessary. Whoa. That got a little nutsoid. Come on, backspaces. There we go. That's the way. And so the unique ones are like Scout. These can become these backgrounds can become can be used by players creating rogues with the thief, inquisitive, mastermind. Yeah, inquisitive and mastermind subclasses. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting on to the other ones. So the first one here is actually, I think this is where I'm going to stop. I'll stop here at the Scout. I'll pick up there next time, because if technology is going to be like that for me today, then I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I actually have to do the day job. So, yeah, that's where we're going to pause for the time. So again, thanks Dak, thanks Pixie for kicking around here, and reminder, tomorrow is our Witchlight and Wesmia campaign. Dak is going to be playing on Wednesday morning as well with his Ghost of Salain, probably with some new players because we have some applicants. Thursday, DM Varad is getting darn close to the end of his Curse of Strahd campaign. And then Friday is the Aldavon Chronicles, where you saw me place one of those pins earlier on. And at the end of which, Saturday, there is our Dragon of Icespire Peak game by Rogue. And then next week's going to be interesting because I don't know who all else is going to be running, but I've got to take off because the day job means I can't do the fun things like the D&D stuff. So I'll be going for basically a 2-week Easter vacation on the streams. But aside from that, there might be some other ones. So, check back in on the stream schedule and see how things go there. If you enjoyed what you saw here, hit that subscribe button, or Twitch subscribe as the case may be. But thank you guys very much for joining, and y'all have a really great week this week. So thank you guys again. Cheerio.